Brought to you by Penguin.
The Transgender Issue, written and read by Shon Faye. This book is dedicated to my mother in a frankly insufficient attempt to reciprocate her dedication to me. When I say trans, I also mean escape. I mean choice. I mean autonomy. I mean wanting something greater than what you told me. Wanting more possibilities than the one you forced on me. Travis Alabanza. Prologue. The liberation of trans people would improve the lives of everyone in our society. I say liberation because I believe that the humbler goals of trans rights or trans equality are insufficient. Trans people should not aspire to be equals in a world that remains both capitalist and patriarchal, and which exploits and degrades those who live in it. Rather, we ought to seek justice for ourselves and others alike. Trans people have endured over a century of injustice. We have been discriminated against, pathologized, and victimized. Our full emancipation will only be achieved if we can imagine a society that is completely transformed from the one in which we live. This book is primarily concerned with explaining how society, as it is currently arranged, often makes trans people's lives unnecessarily difficult. Yet, in posing solutions to these problems, it does not limit itself to thinking solely about trans people, but also encompasses anyone who is routinely disempowered and dispossessed. Full autonomy over our bodies, free and universal healthcare, affordable housing for all, power in the hands of those who work rather than those privileged few who extract profit from our vastly inequitable system, sexual freedom, including freedom from sexual violence, and the end to the mass incarceration of human beings are all crucial ingredients in the construction of a society in which trans people are no longer abused, mistreated, or subjected to violence. Such systemic changes would also particularly benefit everyone else forced to the margins of society, both in the UK and across the world. The demand for true trans liberation echoes and overlaps with the demands of workers, socialists, feminists, anti-racists, and queer people. They are radical demands in that they go to the root of what our society is and what it could be. For this reason, the existence of trans people is a source of constant anxiety for many who are either invested in the status quo or fearful about what would replace it. In order to neutralize the potential threat to social norms posed by trans people's existence, the establishment has always sought to confine and curtail their freedom. In 21st century Britain, this has been achieved in large part by belittling our political needs and turning them into a culture war issue. Typically, trans people are lumped together as the transgender issue, dismissing and erasing the complexity of trans lives, reducing them to a set of stereotypes on which various social anxieties can be brought to bear. By and large, the transgender issue is seen as a toxic debate, a difficult topic, chewed over, usually by people who are not trans themselves, on television shows, in newspaper opinion pieces, and in university philosophy departments. Actual trans people are rarely to be seen. This book intentionally and deliberately reappropriates the phrase transgender issue in order to outline the reality of the issues facing trans people today, rather than as they are imagined by people who do not face them. In doing so, this book takes a wide-ranging look at different aspects of trans experience. The introduction looks at the ways in which the media has warped and distorted the conversation around trans people in Britain. The first chapter is a broad survey of everyday trans life, in family relationships, education, and housing, from childhood to old age.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?